Before I go and spray this wet bed here, I'm going to go and test my pattern like I just did. Wet bed is a leveling, it's actually a clear base. So that way when we're doing a blending panel like we're doing here, it helps you lay out your color a lot smoother, transitioning from that sealer all the way throughout the door, so there's no hard line or discoloration, so it helps it blend a little bit better. We're spraying some PPG waterborne base and clear, along with the sealer is also PPG. Spraying out of a Devilibus DV1. I believe I'm running a 1-2 tip. As you can see on the car, it's a Honda Accord. It looks a little blue. That's just from the wet bed and the water within it. So it gives off a little bit of a bluish tint. But once it goes ahead and flashes over, that's how we know it's ready to go for the next coat of base. You don't see the blue anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and do another spray pattern here to make sure my gun's flowing right. And with wet bed, you don't have to clean your gun in between, going from wet bed to base coat. Since it is a clear base, it doesn't affect the color at all. So it looks like I'm spraying at 22, 23 PSI here for the base coat. It's just gonna be a nice maroon color. Not sure on the paint code or anything like that, but so to start off, when you spray your first coat of base, you want to make sure you edge everything. So that's what I'm going to do right here. Is I'm going to edge the fender, I'm going to edge the inside of the fender, and all the way around to that top of that door. What that does is just make sure and reinsures that we get coverage on the little nooks and crannies within the sealer, so we don't miss anything. And the second and third coat will end up coming back over it anyway, but this is a good start to make sure we have full coverage. So when I always spray, I always make sure my pattern's good. So that first little spray right there was just to make sure that the pattern was spraying how I liked it. So for the first coat here, I'm just going to go out to my blend zone just about, and then I'll come back and spray the remainder blend of the door. When you blend, you don't want to just stop somewhere. You want to make sure you kind of like twist or fan out, as you can kind of see here. The camera doesn't really pick it up. It's kind of my fault, but you can see I kind of like flick my wrist at the end. That's kind of how you want to do blending procedures. And to go with the second coat here, is just make sure we're getting coverage everywhere we need to. And then after this, we'll check with the sunlight and kind of reinsure that we're not blotchy in any spots or not getting the right coverage that we need. So once again, I am just edging my panel here to make sure I get everything covered that I need to, and then we will move into spraying the rest of the area here. How PPG waterborne works is it's a waterborne paint, so when you spray it on, it's going to look a little wet, and then how you know you're ready for your next coat is it's just like a flat color. So this maroon here, I'm spraying it. Once I get done with that first coat, I can either blow dry it with an air gun or an air knife blade, how they call it. And basically that just helps it dry off all that water, which helps put that paint into the metal. You can't do that with a clear coat, obviously, but So here we're just checking with the sun gun. Basically, it's like the purest or the closest form of sunlight that we can get into the booth. And basically, you just want to make sure there's no like little cloudy sections or you know, like any like gray parts showing through the sealer or anything like that. We didn't paint all the way through the door just because that's not how we do our blending procedures. But as you can see here, it looks pretty good. I don't see any cloudiness or blotchiness. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it, I think it's about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes before I go ahead and clear. And then we'll also tack off as well. So.
23 psi. See how it sprays this first coat here. Running a 1-2 tip. Too bad. A couple dirt nibs I couldn't really control, but it's still going to turn out to be a pretty good job for this guy, so we're going to let her sit here real quick. I used to run a 1-3 tip, but I wanted to switch over to 1-2 to see how it looked. And overall, I think I'm liking it a little bit lighter, or a little bit better. So I might try and get another job and see if I can spray that with another 1-2. Just see how consistent I can get it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I might go up to 24 psi on this next coat. We're just doing 2 coats today. So give her a couple minutes here. Check to see if she's ready here. Don't see any runs at all, so that's good. What we did on this car, we just did a fender repair. Somebody got hit, or like a guy fell into the fender there and they wanted that replaced, fixed at least, so we fixed it, sprayed it, blended into this door, cleared the rest of the door. Our blend came out to the, probably right about here. That's where our blend came out to. Color match went pretty well. I sprayed a test card earlier. sun, but I think it's gonna be good to go. So for this clear, you want to check. Probably got just another 30 seconds or so. It's pretty close. So I'm gonna get the gun ready. We'll shoot her again. Might have to mix more clear. We'll see. We'll see. I did bump it up to 24 psi, so we're going to spray this coat at 24, just to kind of push it through a little more. This booth isn't the best because there isn't any lighting on this side, but I have like just enough to see where I'm spraying at. Usually I'll spray in a different booth, but I had to deal with what I had, so that's good. That's good. That's good to go. So we're gonna go spray now. One more coat, we're done. Just enough to do it. Towards the end there, when I was running out of clear, I noticed the gun was getting low, so I went ahead and got a little bit closer, but also increased my gun speed a little bit. Still laid it down how I liked it. So We're gonna get the gun clean, come back here and check it out, and see how it looks. It looks pretty good. I'm not worried. That's how we do it. Alright guys, I'm gonna check it out here. Good. Looks solid. So tomorrow, get her unmasked, get her put back together, and out the door.